What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Talking about Beauties, episode 123, the Wednesday news. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about college football because week 1 is this weekend. Plus, we got a lot of MLB history to note and talk about. And Williams Racing out of Formula 1 has dropped their American driver. But first, let's head into the NFL. So we're starting off this show with the NFL talk. We have a lot of stuff to go over. The only thing we're not going to go over are the roster cuts. There's a lot of guys that have been cut due to Tuesday being the deadline of final roster spots of the 53-man rosters. So if you want to know about all the cuts and stuff like that, go check out your favorite team's roster. It's just too much to go through for this one, so obviously we can't go through every single team. But let's start this one off with CeeDee Lamb. Him and the Cowboys have agreed on a new deal, 4 years, $136 million, making him the second highest non-quarterback paid man in the league history. Justin Jefferson's the only one that's higher than him, $35 million AAV. Lamb is getting $34 million. I'm not surprised. I think Lamb is a very good wide receiver. His quarterback situation has not been terrible. I don't think Dak is the worst quarterback in the league. He's not the best, but I definitely don't think it's him holding him back at all. So I think it's a good situation there in Dallas. Hopefully that stays well, especially with how Dak has been kind of treated in the past couple of seasons. Hopefully he stays there with CeeDee Lamb and they keep that duo chugging along. Next, we got Kansas City. They signing Juju Smith-Schuster to 1 year, $3.76 million. Really small signing there, but he was released by New England earlier in the training camp. Not surprised. Juju really hasn't done much in New England, but him going back to Kansas City where he did win a Super Bowl, maybe it will spark something new, being that third wide receiver there. Hopefully, as long as he catches the ball, he definitely is going to keep that roster spot. We got a small little trade, Tennessee and Green Bay. Tennessee gets a 2025 7th-round pick in exchange for quarterback Malik Willis. Willis has not played that much with Tennessee, but I do think he has a lot of upside, very mobile quarterback. He is likely to back up Jordan Love for this upcoming season. So I think that's a good 1-2 quarterback situation there with Green Bay. Hopefully Willis is given an opportunity, but hopefully it's not because Love is injured. I hope it's a healthy, competitive QB1 situation there, but we all know Love is going to be QB1 in Green Bay. Now let's get into some tough injury news. We'll start off in Cleveland. Running back Nick Chubb is expected to be put on the PUP list, which is physically unable to participate, meaning he will automatically miss 4 games to start off the season with a knee injury. Also on that PUP list is Miami's wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. He'll miss 4 games due to an undisclosed injury. I could not find any information on that. He was placed on that as of Tuesday afternoon, so really new information there, and obviously I record these on Tuesday night. I don't know much more than just an undisclosed injury, so tough news there. Now we'll head over back to Dallas, where we got Deron Bland. He'll be out 6 to 8 weeks to repair a stress fracture in his foot. This is unfortunate news because Bland was probably one of the best defensemen in the league last year. He had 9 interceptions. 5 of those went for pick sixes, which was obviously the most in the league. So hopefully Bland is able to get back quicker than usual. Hopefully it is that 6 weeks and not that 8, because I think Dallas is definitely going to miss him big time, not having him in the lineup. And who knows if Diggs could stay healthy. If so, that's going to be good. But if both those guys go down, that's going to be a tough blow to that defense of the Cowboys. Green Bay's A.J. Dillon, running back, will be out the rest of the season with a neck injury. That is tough news there. And San Francisco's Elijah Mitchell will also be gone for the rest of the year. And the last thing to talk about, Arizona wide receiver Zay Jones has been suspended 5 games for violating league's personal conduct policy. So tough news for the wide receiving core of the Cardinals. Let's head to the MLB now, where we had a lot of history making this past week. We'll start off with the Yankees. Garrett Cole joins Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, and Clayton Kershaw as the only 4 active pitchers to reach 150 wins in their career. Cole's not going to stop anytime soon, but will he hit that 200? I'm not too sure he's got enough in the tank for that one, but I'm definitely not going to say it's out of reach for him. And we'll stay in New York. We'll go to Aaron Judge. He joins the 1,000 hit club. That was on, I believe, Monday. So congrats to you, Judge, for that one. This guy is having a great season, despite the Yankees having a very 50-50 season, despite being a second-place team in the AL East and in a playoff spot right now. I mean, they had a very tough stretch, but Aaron Judge and Juan Soto were not the problems in that. It was everybody else around them. Judge leads the league in home runs and RBIs, 51 home runs, 122 RBI, and he's second in the league in batting average, entering that Tuesday game against the Nationals with a .333 batting average. This guy could win the Triple Crown this year, could beat his own AL home run record, which was 62. I personally think he can hit that 63 home runs in the season. I would not be surprised whatsoever. Now, the biggest thing will be that batting average. Will he be able to win that Triple Crown? I don't know. I'm on my fingers crossed for him because I think Aaron Judge is having an outstanding year, and I think it's well-deserved. And him with Soto. Soto's also having a great year too. So the Yankees are honestly benefiting big time from those two guys. Hopefully they can keep it going into the playoffs this year though. Then we'll head to Los Angeles, where Shohei Ohtani is a sixth member of a special elite club. He is in the 40-40 club. On Friday night, he had a stolen base against Seattle and was up to the plate with the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth, hit a walk-off grand slam to hit his 40th home run of the season. This is only the sixth time it's been done. This joins Barry Bonds, Jose Canseco, Alex Rodriguez, Alfonso Soriano, and Ronald Acuna Jr. on this list. Can Shohei be a 50-50 though? It's never been done before. The most home runs of any of those guys on that list has been 46. But Acuna did have 73 stolen bases. So if he had the bat, he definitely could have hit that 50-50. But can Shohei hit a 50-50 season? He's done this the fastest out of anybody. He's got, I think, a good amount of games that I don't think his home run pace is going to be slowing down. So I think he's going to hit that 50 home runs. But will he get the stolen bases? That's going to be, I think, the harder part of him. Shohei seems to be hitting home runs like it's nothing. I just think the stolen bases thing is going to be the hardest one for him to do. But I think it's definitely possible. I think Ohtani does hit 50-50 by the end of the year. And we look back at this season as Aaron Judge is a for sure AL MVP and Shohei Ohtani is a for sure NL MVP. Great year by both of those guys right there. Then we head to Boston versus Toronto. We had the Danny Jansen story come true. He is the first person to play in the same game for two separate teams because of that game played. I believe it was early June. It was rained out, suspended, played again earlier this week, and Jansen, who was actually at the plate, had to get pinch hit and was catching against the person who was pinch hitting for him, Dalton Varsho. Very interesting story, very interesting box score to say the least, but really cool story, and I'm glad that Alex Cora knew about this and said yes, he is for sure playing in that game, because when's the next time we're going to have this possibility of a player doing this? I don't think it's very likely. It's just a weird coincidence between these two teams. But congrats, Danny Jansen. I mean, that's a weird record in history making for something like this. Definitely something I don't think we'll ever see again. And another history thing, Chicago White Sox, bad side of the history though, has 31 wins entering Tuesday night. They have blown 31 saves. That is not a good ratio right there. 31 blown saves, 31 wins on the year. I don't know if that's a record or anything like that, but it is just not leaning in the right direction. Probably the worst team we've ever seen in MLB history. All right, a little bit of other news around the league. Pittsburgh Pirates' O'Neal Cruz. He is a shortstop by trade. He is actually going to the outfield to play sometime in center field. I'm guessing because of injuries and things like that. But very curious to see if he's going to be a long-term center fielder for them. Then we head to San Diego, where they signed catcher Elias Diaz to a minor league deal. We'll see if Diaz will find that roster spot for playoff time, though. Houston signs Jason Hayward for the rest of the season. very interesting. I think both parties are going to be happy. Hayward, I think, actually has not been all that bad this year. He hasn't played a lot, but he's not really that bad. And Houston could use the depth, definitely, because we don't know how long Kyle Tucker will be out, because that guy's been out for a couple months now, and we haven't heard much of an update on his injury return. And lastly, we'll head to San Francisco, where Robbie Ray and Jordan Hicks have both been placed on the 15-day IL. So hopefully those starting pitchers get back to that rotation as quickly as possible. All right, let's head to the NHL now. Vancouver's Thatcher Demko, goaltender, expected to miss all of training camp and all of preseason due to an injury. That was undisclosed on what that injury was, but Vancouver says that they're hopeful for his return to the regular season, the start of the regular season too. I don't know if that's possible. We don't know what the injury is, but if he's missing this much, it's got to be pretty important and pretty big. So hopefully Demko does get back, because he's a big part of that goaltending situation in Vancouver. But based off of what they did in the playoffs, I think Slovis is how you pronounce his last name. I think if he's getting that opportunity, I think he'd actually probably be a pretty good number one goaltender in Vancouver until Demko does come back. We had another trade this week. We had San Jose and Nashville. Yaroslav Askarov, the goaltender, the best goaltending prospect in the league, going from Nashville to San Jose, along with Nolan Burke and a 2025 third-round pick from Colorado. Nashville, in exchange, got David Enstrom, Magnus Chanra, and a 2025 first-round pick from Vegas, which is a top 10 protected. San Jose will have the choice to send their own first-round pick or Vegas's first-round pick, depending on where it lands, if that is a top 10 pick for San Jose. Yaroslav was also extended to a 2-year, $2 million AAV contract, which will begin in 2025-2026 season. Overall, really good trade on both sides. I think Yaroslav needs this kind of game or this kind of team to play for. San Jose, I think, is going to give up a lot of shots. So if Yaroslav is thrown right in there, I think he's going to be very happy. So I think that's exactly what he wants. I think San Jose has a really good goaltender, and the pipeline's there with Yaroslav. When it comes to Nashville, what I hear about David Enstrom is he's kind of like a Patrick Berglund, or yeah, I think Berglund is how you say it. Kind of a gritty, really good defenseman-minded forward. Could be like a third or fourth line centerman, but has a chance to be a very good player, very long, lengthy, longevity players. That's the word I'm trying to find. I don't think you're going to find a lot of points out of Enstrom, but there could be a possibility that he's playing penalty kill. He's playing third line. He's playing second line if you have to, kind of thing. So I think Nashville is going to be really happy with Enstrom there. I think San Jose is definitely going to be happy with Yaroslav. Already signed him to an extension as well. So both teams, I think, are going to be left really happy going in the future. And the last thing to talk about is this weird, awesome news coming out of Anaheim. We're getting free streaming of 65 games this season of Anaheim Ducks hockey. They are launching a new streaming platform called Victory Plus, which is all new sports streaming service, which will show all Anaheim Ducks games plus exclusive content and shows. Excuse me, want to refresh that. Not all games, 65 games. There are 82 games in a season, but those other games, those other non-65 games, not sure which ones it will be. You could probably go look those up. I didn't think it was necessary for this. Those will be on mainstream national television like TNT, ABC, ESPN, those kind of channels. So that's why those ones will not be on Victory Plus. But reading into the article, it's going to be 100% free for everyone in the LA and Orange County area. So anyone that's local to Southern California and is a big Ducks fan, you're definitely going to be super happy about this, because DirecTV is way too much for Bally Sports. Plus, you got to find other ways to watch Anaheim Ducks games, whether it's illegal streaming services, streaming services that you pay for but kind of have like weird, like no blackouts kind of stuff, kind of some shady stuff, just to be able to watch your favorite team locally, in this case the Anaheim Ducks. But they are making this free for everybody in the LA Orange County area, so I think that's a huge plus. I was reading a lot of stuff online about it with everybody's comments on social media, and everyone's saying it's a big thumbs up to Anaheim. Great job by them. They were not happy with Bally Sports. Not a lot of people have been happy with Bally Sports, especially when they took them off of a lot of streaming services like Hulu, which is one of the streaming services I had. And I was not very happy once that transition did happen from Fox Sports to Bally, to all of their money problems and taking their services away from the streaming services and putting it strictly on like cable TV and like Dish, DirecTV, all that kind of stuff. So it made it really hard to watch my local teams, and same thing for a lot of people too. So I'm glad Anaheim's going this route. I think this opens up the door for a lot of other people. And reading into the article, it sounds like a lot of the money is coming from ads and that kind of thing. So it's not like this Victory Plus is going to lose the money, the revenue at all. They're still going to find a lot of ways in there. It's just definitely not going to be as much as I bet you, like being on a Bally Sports or a Root Sports or NBC Sports, anything like that. You're not going to get as much revenue back, but it's definitely not going to be a total loss. So huge plus. I'm very excited, very happy, especially as an Anaheim fan. Unfortunately, I am still out here at school till December, so I won't have that. I'll have to use other platforms like ESPN Plus, luckily, because I don't get those blackouts. So I do have that. But I think it's a huge plus. So when I get back home, I'm going to be super excited. Going to be totally on that Victory Plus network. So super, super awesome. Just had to add that in there because I think more teams should consider doing this kind of thing. All right, let's head to college football. Before we talk about results of week 0, we're going to talk about a uniform update. We had a big, not really big, I would say, let me take that back. We got a new helmet. We're going to the Big Ten. The new school, Washington, has a new black helmet this season. It is a matte black shell with a purple stripe down the middle. And we have the classic W logo on the side, purple, outlined in that gold. Very kind of like chrome glossy look, so it does stand out on that matte black shell with the chrome gold face mask. I think this looks really cool. It's going to look really good with the whole all black uniform. I think it actually would look really good with the purple uniform. If you wanted to change it up like that, I doubt they're going to do something like that, but I think it would look good there. I think it also look really good on their white uniforms. So I think these black helmets will probably only be used on their black uniforms. But if they wanted to bring them out more often, I think all their uniform options would look really nice with this black helmet. So for me, I'm giving it an 8.4 out of 10. I think it looks really cool. It's really simple. It's not really innovative, but I think it just all works together. I think the colors look great. I think going that matte black instead of a chrome black, or even just the classic, I don't know what you call it, black, like glossy black or something like that most teams use. I think going that matte black look definitely adds a lot of bonus points there for me. So really cool uniform there, or helmet, and I think it's going to add a lot to those uniforms. All right, let's head to week 0 results. We'll start off in Dublin, Ireland for the morning game. Number 10 Florida State versus Georgia Tech. This was a great game, back and forth matchup. Florida State looked like they were going to run away with it after those first 2 drives. Georgia Tech answered. They looked really good. They went into halftime tied at 14, and it all came down to a last-second field goal for Georgia Tech. He drilled it. Great kick by them. They won this one 24-21, causing the first win of the college football season to be a top 25 upset. So congrats to the Yellow Jackets. Really awesome win there. But that upset did not stop there. We head to New Mexico, where New Mexico hosted Montana State, an FBS versus FCS school. Obviously, you would think FBS would be better than FCS. That was not the case this week. Montana State did come into this as a big favorite in this one. Had to come back late in this game, though, to beat New Mexico. They won 35-31. This was the 3rd largest blown lead, though, by New Mexico, or an FBS team versus an FCS team. The worst one was a 21-point blown lead by Western Kentucky over Maine in 2018. Second was 18 points from Buffalo versus Fordham in last year at 2023. And this one, 17 points, is third on the list. They were also paid $360,000 to play New Mexico, so they got the win, they got the money, they go home with a big smile on their face. So congrats to you, Bobcats. Really awesome win there. I actually watched a good, decent amount of the first half of this one. New Mexico started to run away with it, so I turned it off. Didn't expect Montana State to come back in that one. Somehow they came back. I wish I turned that game back on, but great job by the Bobcats. Impressive win there. We had 2 more games this past weekend. SMU played Nevada. SMU came back down 11 in this one to beat Nevada, although they were a 27-point favorite in this one, so they did not cover that spread, but won 29-24 over the Wolfpack. Then we had Delaware State versus Hawaii. Hawaii hosting. They won this one 35-14. Honestly, really not a close matchup there. Tough travel for Delaware State, and they go back with a big loss. Now let's head into upcoming matchups to watch for this weekend. I'll start off on Thursday, 5 p.m. on ESPN, North Dakota State versus Colorado. I think this is a upset alert game. North Dakota State, second best team in FCS, against Colorado, who's a team that I think they're still trying to figure out who they are. And it could be a blowout for Colorado, which I think is a lot of analysts' thoughts. Personally, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a really close matchup, and I think the Bison have a chance to beat the Buffaloes in this one. Yes, we got the Bison versus the Buffaloes. Should be a really fun matchup on Thursday night, though. Then we got number 14, Clemson versus number 1, Georgia. 9 a.m. ABC. Clemson comes into this one as an underdog. It's their first time. They're a week 1 underdog since 2014, so should be a good matchup there. Number 8, Penn State versus West Virginia, 9 a.m. on Fox. Potential upset alert there. Opening week, West Virginia's hosting. Morgantown could be a very scary place for the Nittany Lions, so watch out for that one. South Dakota State versus number 17, Oklahoma State, 11 a.m. on ESPN+. It's a shame this game's on ESPN+, because I think this is actually going to be a pretty decent game. The best team in the preseason rankings of FCS, South Dakota State, against the 17th-ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys. I think this is an upset alert potential, so watch out. Cowboys, I think the Jackrabbits could keep this one close, if not pull off an upset. Number 19, Miami versus Florida. This is 12:30 p.m. on ABC. Interstate battle there, so it should be a good matchup. Then we get to College Game Day site. Number 7, Notre Dame versus number 20, Texas A&M. 4:30 p.m. on ABC. I think it's definitely going to be a very good matchup, so enjoying that one big time. 23, USC versus number 17 ranked LSU. That game is on Sunday. It is the only game being played on Sunday on ABC at 4:30 p.m. Gonna be a good matchup. I'm really excited to see this USC Trojan team, especially being a Pac-12 guy. I'm definitely gonna be rooting for them. So fight on, Trojans. I'm hoping for a big win in Las Vegas against the LSU Bayou Tigers. All right, let's head to underdog picks. But last week, New Mexico was my pick, and surprisingly, regardless of who I picked, everybody covered. All the 4 teams that were underdogs in the FBS world did cover their spread. So New Mexico, 11.5 point underdog, covered that spread, gave me 5 points to my season total. So starting off the season on a pretty good note, a +5 for me. This week, I got North Dakota State versus Colorado is my upset pick. North Dakota State comes into this one as a +10 underdog, and I think if they don't win, it's going to be close. I think it's going to come down to the wire. I don't think Colorado's winning by double digits in this one, so that is my upset pick for the week. So hopefully this one comes out in my way. I'll try my best to watch that game on Thursday. I got some other things I have to do, but I think this is going to be a very exciting game, so definitely tune in Thursday night to that one. All right, let's head to the cleanup now. Not a lot to talk about, but we'll start off in Formula 1. Williams Racing driver Logan Sargent will be dropped for the remainder of the season for Franco Colapinto. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Sargent has not been good the last couple of years, and it seems like Williams has just had the last straw with him. So Franco will come in for the rest of the season. I believe it's not that many races left, but very curious to see where Sargent will go if he does go anywhere else. Trackhouse Racing in NASCAR announced that Shane Van Gisbergen, hopefully I said that one right, will be driving full-time for their team next season in the legendary 88 car. To me, this is weird. When I see number 8 or 88, I think Dale Earnhardt Jr., which is my favorite driver growing up. And personally, I don't want to see someone else driving those cars. I don't like that Kyle Busch is the number 8 car. I don't really want to see Shane in the 88 car. Hopefully he's able to bring success to this legendary number because everybody seems to love Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's a guy that everyone loves. I mean, there's really no hate towards him. He hasn't done anything wrong to the world of NASCAR. And I'm really hoping that this 88 car is able to find victory lane a lot. So I'll be rooting for the 88 car, not as much as if Dale Earnhardt Jr. was driving it, but I definitely will keep a close eye on that number. Now let's head to the world of soccer where we had League Cup final. This year it was LAFC versus Columbus Crew for the final, and the Crew came out on top 3-1 in this one, but in LAFC's defense, Olivier Giroud got his first goal in the black and gold. So he looked good out there, but the Crew were too much winning this League's Cup final. And the last thing to talk about, let's go back to NASCAR. I had this a little bit out of order. Harrison Burton from last weekend got his first win, and that was at Daytona, earning him a playoff spot with that win. So taking one more spot away, only one more spot up for grabs when it comes to NASCAR playoffs, and that is this weekend's last race of the regular season. So a lot up for grabs here. Burton came out of nowhere at that last game. Really awesome race. Initially did not think I was going to watch it. Was able to find time to sit down and watch that one. Really entertaining last 30 laps. I thought it was a really awesome race. Congrats to Burton on your first win. Doing it in front of his dad and his mom. His mom was in the crew chief box. His dad was making the calls on NBC channel. So that was really cool to see, especially for Burton. I definitely think that's awesome. Have both of your family members to watch your first win there. But he stole a win from Kyle Busch, who needed that win for a playoff spot. So he's got one more chance, Busch does, to make that playoff, but he's got to win this weekend at Darlington. All right, let's head to the games of the weekend. We'll start off in the MLB. We got Los Angeles versus Arizona, 3-game set. A lot on the line for Arizona when it comes to playoff positioning. So hopefully the Diamondbacks are able to win that one and get themselves in a better position. But LA is looking really good right now. Then we head to college football. Number 7, Notre Dame versus number 20, Texas A&M. I think that's going to be the best game of the weekend. That's on ABC at 4:30. Formula 1, we got the Italian Grand Prix on Sunday at 6 a.m. NASCAR, Darlington Raceway, Sunday, 6 p.m. on the USA Network. We head to soccer now, where we can start off with the Premier League. Manchester United versus Liverpool, Sunday at 8 a.m. on Peacock. We head to La Liga, where Athletic Club versus Atletico Madrid. That's on Saturday at 10:30 on ESPN+. We head to the Bundesliga, where Bayern Leverkusen will play Red Bull Leipzig. That will be on Sunday as well. League One, that is Lille versus PSG. That is on Sunday at 11:45 a.m. And lastly, we got Serie A, Juventus versus Roma, Sunday at 11:45 a.m. All right, guys, that will do it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. Episode 123 in the books. I appreciate you guys sticking around for this one. A lot of cool information, a lot of big stuff, a lot of stuff to watch this weekend. So hopefully you guys aren't bored with the amount of sports to watch. You got college football, you got soccer, you got racing, you got MLB. A lot of awesome things this weekend. So a lot of sports stuff to keep an eye on. Plus, we also got a lot of stuff coming to the channel. Later this week, we got a college football episode. The podcast dad and I did a college football preview episode. I'm in the middle of editing that one. That one should come out Thursday at the very earliest. If not, it will be out on Friday. Then lastly, we got Sports Jeopardy coming out later this weekend as well. That will be either Friday if the college football episode comes out Thursday. This one will come out Friday. If not, then that will be pushed back to Saturday night time. That will be the championship of Sports Jeopardy, so that will wrap up that series. So hopefully you guys check that one out. If you haven't checked out the ones previously, go check them out. Definitely worth watching. Not very long episode, but very fun. Quizzes you on how well you do on Sports Jeopardy, plus a lot of good laughs in those episodes. So hopefully you guys go check those out because they're really good episodes. Appreciate you guys listening to this one. Have an awesome weekend. Enjoy the sports this upcoming weekend, and we'll see you guys later.